passed on to a better life. But he's with the Lord. He's with our Lord and Savior, so he is happy nonetheless. But I feel bad for his family. But really, that's all we can say. You got to feel bad for this situation. Regardless, this is a football channel, so let's stick to that one. Let us know what you think in the comment section below about the current situation of Newcastle United. A lot of things to talk about, injuries, and again, Eddie Howe has broken his silence about the Alexander Isak situation. I thought he gave out more than I expected him to. I didn't think he was going to say what he said, which give you actually he was done with the question really, from what I can tell, and then he doubled down and said, just to give you more on that subject, our relationships changed when on strike, admitting that he was on strike, meaning he didn't want to play, he didn't want to practice, and still Newcastle United didn't have the backbone to find the player, which would have been ideal, knowing that. I wonder if it's still ideal, by the way, get that money back, but nevertheless, it's a thing of the past, to say the least. All right then. So let me know. Shout out to everybody out there, Northern Soul, Dr. Leo, Michael NUFC, Kevin Hawthorne. Thank all of you for joining us tonight. Geniesta, big up, man. I appreciate you for coming on, being on the channel. Appreciate all of you. And yeah, a lot of things going on with Newcastle United. I mean, I want to know your opinion because I'm running solo today, so I want to know what you think about the situation of the club. A lot of things going on. Not so many positives. Well, the one positive would be that Voltar Madi more than likely will start tomorrow. So that's a positive for Newcastle. I mean, we're gonna. There's no choice. Now you don't have a backup other than Nasula, but that's kind of been the situation anyway. So, are we worse than what we were before? You can say by the fact that we haven't gotten a striker in the first few games, we wasted points, and now we still can't manage to have a backup and a starter striker. Well, you can say we got a starter striker with Voltar Madi, so clearly that's a given. Am I a little too low? Did you guys hear me? Let me know if you guys hear me good, because for some reason I'm not hearing myself much here. But either way, and I mean, Voltar Madi should be starting. No issues there, really. That's kind of what Newcastle United fans want anyway, right? We want him to start. No issues. Yeah, but you get into this luck thing with Wissa, injured in the international game. And you can't really blame anything. Was out there with international Congo and got hurt. But it is. Let me see. I don't know why the volume seems to be a bit off. There we go. Let me see if you can hear me. Let me know in the comment section. Go. Everything is up on my end. I don't know. If everything. Yeah, can hear fine. There you go. I don't know if you can blame I don't know. It's just luck of the draw, I guess. That's our luck as of late. The Wissa deal, and then you got to the Ramsey situation, going after a month. Going to be gone for a month. That's pretty weird, that, man. That is weird, and nobody knew really what the and I can't really say that that's a injury, prone, and I don't think that falls into that category. I mean, if he was running and all of a sudden had to stop, I think that would be something to look at. But it's just a cloud that he has over his head, and he won't get rid of it until he's able to overcome these injuries. Every time he gets an injury, he's going to have to deal with that over his head. Here's what it is, and until he stops getting injured for a long period of time and doesn't have an issue. But for now, that is something that he's going to have to be dealing with. And it is unfortunate, but it is what it is. I've seen some fans already on social media talking about that in particular, saying that he's injury prone, and all of a sudden at signing. I'm not going to go on the limb and say that. There you go. I can hear myself now. One of my ports was a bit knackered there. So I'm not going to go on the limb and say that he's in. I mean, you know, he's got that stigma that he's injury prone, but it is what it is. I mean, Medieval Knievel there said, "This is why I hate international football. Losing players to injury is not fair on the club." Well, it isn't, but you know, I'm a big advocate for international football. I like it, and I mean, I can't backtrack on my opinion now that we got injured players. It is what it is, isn't it? It's just unfortunate, but listen, it's our luck nowadays, man. It's our luck. It's our luck. But well, we did get the two strikers in, and I think either way, a lot of people wanted Voltar Madi to start, wanted to see him, and you're gonna get that wish. I think I want to see it as well. See him on the pitch. The only problem with Voltar Madi is that he's not good for the eye, if you will. He's not. I know I said that, Tony, but I got busy. I mean, I had a trip planned, but it didn't go as planned. So I thought I'd come out for an hour and see what's going on with you guys, chat with you guys a little bit, and so yeah, I mean it's the people are going to get their wish. We're going to see Voltar Madi, and that's something that we all wanted. I think the vast majority, we want to see him. He's not good on the eye, so when you look at him, when you watch him play, you know, he's not a player that that's appealing. But once he starts scoring goals, trust me, people will get over that rather quickly. People will get over it. People will. He'll. It's just like Peter Crouch, you know. In that sense, I would compare him to that. You know, he's not good on the eye, but if he starts banking goals and playing good, then all of that is going to go out the window. So, you know, again, it's just about scoring goals. And if he does that, he'll be all right. A few things that Eddie Howe said about him is that he's got a great nature, a great character. He's very calm and gone straight into our training and not looked out of place. That's pretty good, especially from Eddie Howe. That means, you know, you could possibly assume that he is ready to come on and play. That's one of the things that I'm kind of weary of Eddie, that he takes his time. But when he starts talking like this, it may give me the belief that he might put him on. Well, he has no choice in this particular manner. I don't know that he would put him on the pitch if Wissa was available. I wouldn't put my hands on fire to for that. But either way, we're gonna see him, and we're gonna see what he can do, which is the most important thing, right? Which is the most important thing. And again, you know, the Ramsey and Ramsey injury, it is what it is. I mean, it's unfortunate. I wouldn't go as far as start to criticize the signing in itself. I don't think that. I don't think that's, you know, that's the issue per se right now, at least, until he just starts walking and he gets hurt. Then obviously people will continue to talk about that. The good thing is that Joe Linton has been able to train and has been able to play. So he's looking good, according to Eddie Howe. Really happy to welcome him back. He said, such an important player. So you would assume that he is all right and that he's going to start. So really, in the midfield, you're not going to have that issue. We're going to have a really strong side, as far as the starting 11. Now you get to wonder about the bench, obviously, because you're probably going to have to play Joe Willock at some point. If Joe Linton is not 100%, I doubt that he'll finish the game. But if he is 100%, obviously he might as well do it. But you got also Lewis Miley, who I think in the ranks is higher than Joe Willock at the moment. I may be proven wrong. I don't know, but or maybe because usually Willock subs in for Joe Linton, so there could be something there. But I mean, you know, I tend to believe now that Lewis Miley is not. I mean, it's not 100% developed yet. You know, he still needs a lot of playing time. There were talks about loaning him out. don't think that was the solution. I think just give him more game time to prove the manager and the club right or wrong that they're not giving him more minutes. So I think he can do a job there for Joe Linton if Joe Linton needs to come off. But I think it will be Joe Linton, Tonali, and Bruno. Bruno coming from playing in Bolivia. As a South American myself, I don't see that as an issue. I don't see why he can't play. As a matter of fact, he should be able to play more than before. The fact that he went to the altitude of Bolivia and comes back, he should be ready to play. His lungs are going to be prepared to play in lower altitudes. As a South American, trust me, that's never an issue. He is a South American. He's played a couple of Libertadores before. He's played for Brazil many times. He's traveled to Ecuador in the altitude. He's gone to Bolivia the altitude. Sometimes you can't go to Peru in the altitude. Teams are used to that. That's not a big deal, to be honest. So it would be a big deal if you're going as a team to play in the altitude. That would be a difference. But as a player, matter of fact, he should come ready to play. He should be ready. It's easier after you're playing in altitude and then you go back to regular levels. It should be easier. So I don't see that as something against Bruno. So I think he'll be able to play. Eddie Howe did mention something like that anyway in the press conference. So I think he'll be able to play. Tonali, no issues. Tonali, the best player for Newcastle United. We all know that. And so I think the team is going to be one of the best teams we can possibly put on the pitch, because Ramsey wasn't going to start. We know that, right? He wasn't going to be able to start, even if he was fit. It's always going to be Joe Linton, Tonali, and Bruno at this moment. And Eddie said it on the presser as well. He said that he's not. He can, talking about the possibility of changing the tactics with Voltar Madi and Wissa. It is a possibility. He mentioned Callum Wilson and Isak playing, double striker. But right now he's not too keen on doing that. And I knew that, by the way, and I've mentioned it before. I don't think Eddie Howe is going to change his tactics. And he proved it today with the press conference, saying that he's not really looking at entertaining that. It is a possibility, just like everything is a possibility, but he's not really going to, make that drastic. Well, for him would be a drastic move anyway, which is changing the formation. So I wouldn't. There's not going to be many changes except the simple fact that Voltar Madi is going to be a striker now. I think that on the left you might see Barnes. On the right, I hope to see Ilanga. Ilanga is the best right wing we got. I mean, I know I get that people talk about Murphy and they like his crosses and all of that, but I mean, I think the better of the two is Ilanga. And if Ilanga's issue is finishing the play, you can certainly work on that. He does the hard thing. He does the toughest part. His delivery is the problem. But I think that you can fix that. You can work on that. And the more you play, you'll be able to assess better. You'll be able to think better. You'll be able to pause for a second, look up and see who's available. I think that with time and minutes, he'll be able to, perform. And I like him better as a right wing anyway, so over Murphy. It's unfortunate because Murphy had a good season, but I mean, as we know, you all know in the chat, there was never a doubt, even from the happy clappers or the bedwetters, there was never a doubt that we needed a right wing in this summer window. So if as much as Jacob Murphy had an amazing window, it still wasn't enough to say, well, there we go, we got a right wing. It wasn't enough. And he had a great season. So all power to Mr. Jacob Murphy, but I think Ilanga still going to be the one starting, And so I don't think the lineup is going to change much other than that. Maybe surprised with the center back. I think Dan Burn at the moment is, you can't move him. I think very much at this point, he's performing well, by the way. So it's not really a favoritism. but he's performing well. And if you add the favoritism, it is impossible for him to get out the team. So if there's a center back that comes out, it might be Shar. Yeah, it is live, Phil. It is live, man. Come on, man. How way, man? What's wrong with you? It is live. And so shout out to Michael Mick in the chat as well. Shout out to all of you there. So yeah, I think the lineup. The good question would be the goalkeeper. You know, the goalkeeper. What is that? What is going to happen with the goalkeeper? That's something to certainly keep in mind. But I mean, those are things that's not going to happen, though. You know, we tend to think about it. I think it's a good conversation to have between Newcastle fans, whether, you know, we would do this, we would do that. But I mean, we can't really expect Eddie Howe to make first formation changes. That's really tough for him to ever do. He might do it every now and then. He did it against Leeds, and trust me, he wish he probably could take that back. That wasn't a good decision. But and as far as making player changes from the starting lineup, it takes a lot. It does for him to do that. So he's not that type of manager, and it's just different styles, you know, different styles. Are you just doing the live tomorrow for the Wolves game, Chris? Of course, Michael. Every game, mate. There's not a game that we do not do of Newcastle United. So, you know, every game, all the time. You can find us here live an hour before kickoff. Tomorrow's kickoff is, what is it, 3 p.m., something like that? 4 p.m.? I'm not 100% sure, but an hour before. Every time you see the calendar, Newcastle United plays at whatever time, minus an hour, we're going to be live on here on the channel. So, yeah, every game, no matter what, we're always live. So come on, hit the like button. Right now, you guys should be hitting that like button. You guys are not doing a good job as of late to smash the like button. Come on now, only 28 likes. Come on now. That's not, I don't like that. Highway, man. Hit the like button. You guys are lacking right now. And so, yeah. Let me see here real quick. One quick minor thing. But yeah, let me know what you would do. I think I saw somebody there with a Murphy comment. Well, let's go with Aaron here. You know, he says, I was skeptical when we signed Ramsey, and today has proven me why. Villa fans already told us about his injury issues. I hope this isn't a Joe Willock situation. But we all hope that. That's 100% for sure. But I don't think we can say the cause. I mean, you could say, quite honestly, because you can also flip it and say, well, he can't take a tackle, and he gets his ankle swollen for a month. I mean, they need to tell us what happened. You know, what's his issue? Because ankle swelling is not really an answer. You know, he sprained his ankle, plain and simple. Sprained his ankle, broke his ankle. I don't know. He'd be out longer than that, but you know, just say it how it's supposed to be. But swollen ankle for a month, that's you know, we need more details. And I won't lie. I was surprised when he said he's going to be out until the next international break. I was like, what the heck? We just got back for one. When's the next one? Next month or so. Man, that is tough. That is tough, you know. So you could say that, Aaron. You could say that. I'm going to choose to be a happy clapper and say that I wouldn't attribute that to the tackle. I mean, again, you can, but I'm not going to do it yet. You know, if he was running around and all of a sudden he fell to the ground, I could say, man, that I'm 100% with you. But I'm just going to choose to be a happy clapper for a while and not say that he's injured. I mean, he might be injury prone, but you know, it is what it is. I mean, wear better shin guards, these effing idiots. Well, you know, I was buying shin guards for my son. They got these shin guards with ankle protection and everything. But footballers nowadays, they don't want to do that, you know. You ever notice footballers, they put the shoes on, they're like socks, man. You know, no protection whatsoever. Before, football boots were like made of steel, man. Steel toe and everything. So, oh man, look at this, man. I'm getting Instagram notifications from Alexander Isak. Man, I'm gonna unfollow this twat immediately. Unfollowing right now. What the heck? I don't want no notification from this guy, man. Which, by the way, this is kind of weird. He still has. What? Oh, okay. The last video he's placed was Alexander Isak leaving Newcastle. So I guess, yeah, there you go. But I'm not bothered with this crap, man. I'm unfollowing. I'm not messing with it. So, yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section. Mine had ankle protectors. Exactly. Nowadays they do. But I mean, footballers now, they don't want to wear too much stuff, on their feet, on their legs, because on their body, they start wearing these bra things like GPS and all kinds of crap. And they're happy to do that. But, but nowadays they don't want to put much on their feet. So there you go. Yeah. Dr. Leo, when I was a lad, football boots were made from turtle shells. There you go, man. I'm telling you. Is it a month, Chris? They said 7 games. We have 3 games a week per next few weeks. Well, the games are criminal, The games are criminal, man, that we got coming up. So you can say that's going to be an issue. You can definitely most definitely say that's going to be an issue. The fact that we don't have somebody like Ramsey to perform for us, that's going to be an issue. You better expect Joe Willock to come on a few times. And a lot of people said that they're done with Joe Willock. Well, fans are going to have no choice but to get back used to seeing Joe Willock again, because we're going to have to. We can't. We can't play Joe Linton every single game. That's also another thing with narratives. We talk about Ramsey being injury prone. Joe Linton, we like to think of him as this oak tree that runs over people all the time. But let me tell you something. He is hurt all the time. So, but that's the agendas right there, man. No, there's the agendas. People don't really want to recognize. But Joe Linton, if we're gonna use the word injury prone, we can use that with Joe Linton very easy. I've heard people say, even when we're doing the fan cam with Amrit outside St. James's Park, people were saying, Callum Wilson, we know he's made of breadsticks, but he can score. When they were talking about the lack of striker, etc. We don't say Joe Linton is made of breadsticks, but he gets hurt a lot, man. So, yeah, I'm just saying there is an agenda out there. There is an agenda, to say the least. But that's by the by. We are a big club. Need to get used to games coming thick and fast as Harpo. Yeah, I do agree with that. We need to. It's something that we do need to get used to. We should have the squad to do it, but you get these injuries and then you're knackered. That's why I said one more midfielder. At the end, I was screaming for one more midfielder. There was Fratesi was there. There were rumors of Fermin Lopez. It was all about one more striker. One more midfielder. I said it there, but I mean, it feels like the way the window ended, we wanted it to end already. If they would have offered one more day of extension, we probably would have said no, because it was just frustrating, exhausting. And that was issued, obviously, but it's we could have used another midfielder. And he didn't have to be a world-class midfielder, by the way. It could have been one of the normal ones. I would have been happy with many normal midfielders. Dewsbury Hall was another one that I would have been interested in. I mean, the other lad, imagine Granit Xhaka. He would have come to Newcastle in a heartbeat. And it didn't cost you anything. He would have come to Newcastle in a heartbeat. You have him as a backup, why not? Sell him a project, we're going to Champions League, he would have come here. Oh, man, no doubt about it. But that happens when you don't plan. That happens when you're not fit for purpose. And you get to suffer those. But, if everybody's healthy now, we should have a decent squad. The fact of the matter is, though, Lewis Miley, for example, is not 100% as far as being ready to perform, ready to be accounted for, ready to be trusted. Not he's hurt or anything like that, but that's the issue with Lewis Miley, that you can't really trust that he's going to perform on the pitch at this moment in time. And so now the fact that we can trust that Tonali is unbreakable, and hopefully I'm not, fingers crossed, legs crossed, toes crossed, and everything else crossed, but Tonali never gets hurt. And the fact that that's the case, it's a miracle to begin with, because that lad gives in every inch. So, and that's good, because he's our best player, no doubt about it. He's our best player. I had a question here. Tony T says, Chris, could you do a month's prediction, i.e. October predictions at the start of the month? Predictions for the whole season. We can do something like that, yeah. No doubt about it. We can do something like that. Could end up playing 60 games this season, says Gavin. True. That's a lot of games. That's a lot of games, man. I could expect Newcastle to get far in a cup. If we win another cup this season, trust me, we are in business. We are in business. If we get far in a cup and actually accomplish it, we are in proper business now. No doubt about it. And I think that's going to be the thing. We got to get used to it. We got to get used to competing. Those are the small steps that you take that are actually big steps when you think about it. And for example, Arsenal, one of the things that they're known for is being a cup club. They won the FA Cup more than I think anybody ever. And if it's not, they're not behind Liverpool. I'm pretty sure they have the most FA Cups, Arsenal, ever. And that became a banter against them. They're a cup. They only win the cups, but when it comes to the Premier League, they bottled it. But that is kind of the next step that we need to get to. We need to be a cup team. Imagine if we start winning Carabao Cups, FA Cups. You miss the next season, but the following season you get another cup, and that's just like that. You start becoming that cup team, but you're winning trophies. You're filling in the trophy room. You become serious. You become important. And after that, of course, you're going to get into the point where you start competing for the Premier League. I don't think we're ready to become Premier League champions at the moment. I may be proven wrong. Hopefully I'm proven wrong, but I don't think. See, when I do this, I like to think critically. I don't like to put the black and white glasses on and just speak nonsense just because I can. I like to be objective, and I don't think we're established enough to play for the Premier League yet. But that doesn't mean that we can't do it. You see what I'm saying? Because you can still find a reason to become. Look, Forest for the longest time was third, I think, forever. If they had managed it better, then they could have possibly done the unthinkable. We have a better squad than Forest, so it can be done. But obviously the odds are not all the way there, and at some point in the season, that's when it becomes an issue, because you're going to have to prioritize something. You're going to prioritize something. And but if Harper says we smash Wolves tomorrow, by the way, I hope that's the case. And we need the 3 points, man. There's no doubt about it. I mean, right now, looking at the table, that's not looking really good. No look. And again, we have the benefit right now that nobody looks at the table this early, but it's not a good picture, right? We already lost points against Leeds. It would have been wonderful to get points against Liverpool. We didn't. But we need to keep. We need to get it right. We need to keep going. We need to start getting points. And Eddie Howe said it. Eddie Howe said it. He said it very clear, and he said, "It's all good and well playing good, but we got to get the points. We got to get going in the Premier League. We got to get going." Thank you very much indeed, Random Access. Thank you, mate, for the gifted membership. It's going to Forgotten North. Forgotten North received a gift membership by Random Access on YouTube. Appreciate you very much indeed, and congrats, Forgotten North. And don't forget to renew your membership so you can enjoy perks and you can enjoy content, exclusive content just for you. Smash the like button, folks. That way, come on now. Hit the like button. It's free. It doesn't cost you a dime. Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. I know it's late night in the UK, and a lot of you are in the town getting pissed. But, I mean, it is what it is, man. We it's good to have a solo conversation with you without the madness, without the yelling, without the debating. It's about you and I at the moment. So thank you very much, all of you, for joining us. Don't forget to hit the like button. It's very important to have these conversations. Very important to keep going and to see what you think. See what the fans think, to say the least. Steve Gotti, I have a feeling we won't win tomorrow, either a draw or a loss. With Wissa, I would fancy a win, but without, I still think we lack goal threat. Well, Voltar Madi is going to play. Voltar Madi is going to play. Look, I mean, I have faith. I think Voltar Madi will hit the ground running. That's what I think. I think he'll hit the ground running, no doubt about it. But Marco here, come on now, man. Who's going to score if Voltar Madi gets injured or flops? Well, you're right. Well, I mean, listen, I'm going to give you the answer. Osula is going to have to be. Osula is going to have to be the goal scorer. I mean, it is what it is. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to score goals, but he's going to be the one playing if Voltar Madi goes down. It just no way to sugarcoat it. Quite honestly, though, Osula has performed. The only thing about Osula is he just doesn't, another player that doesn't feel the eye, doesn't meet the eye. He really, it's always something missing. He might score. He scored, quite honestly. He scored decent goals. I think he scored the one against Bournemouth last season or something like that. I can't remember. He's definitely scored against Bromley, which is a win or die type match. I mean, granted against Bromley, but I think he scored that game, didn't he? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And then the last one against Liverpool. I mean, that if that game stays like that, Osula is he might be taken in different. The fans might put him in a different, or maybe not in a different category. Maybe that's not maybe it's a little too much, but you get the point. So he gets to score, but his overall game is not ideal, and that's kind of the situation. There Marcus is, I like Osula as a winger. I think he can do better, but I mean, you're not going to take your other wingers out for Osula. That's just not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So it's Osula is just there to be a backup, man. Osula is the backup to the backup. And if Eddie Howe trusts Gordon over Osula overall to be a center forward, then it is that right there proves everything you need to know. It proves everything you need to know. So what would you feel if you were Osula, though? How would you feel? How would you feel if you're him? Not playing, not getting played. Your manager, I mean, the club wanted to sell you. They did. Newcastle United wanted to sell Osula, and for $30 million. I mean, that was scandalous, to say the least. I don't know what got into Frankfurt that they wanted to pay that kind of money for Osula, but they did. It fell through, and he was going to go to Aston Villa as well. But the whole deal, the higher probability is that he was going to go to Aston Villa. But it didn't happen. And, you get into this whole deal of, if you agree with it, they said it could have been a trade-off between Ramsey and Osula. That's not legal, so they didn't do it. To me, it's bollocks. I mean, it makes no sense. Two different players, two different transactions, two different amounts. But whatever. And they had no choice but to adhere to it. But then it was going to be another loan as well, or the same to Frankfurt. I think it was going to be a loan. They changed too many things, but he ended up staying. But the fact of the matter is, he's not trusted. He's not trusted. So, it wouldn't surprise me to see Harvey Barnes is a 9 before Osula again. So didn't fall through. We canceled it because we were being incompetent signing Wissa, says Pont Mags. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Well, that's one way to take it. That's one way to take it. Both were loans with options to buy for Osula. There you go. Aaron says there's something there with Osula. Some players just take longer than others to click. I just worry we won't have the time to allow him to grow. A loan would have been ideal. But along to Frankfurt, that would have been ideal. That's a proper club to loan somebody to. And, not I can't say the same for the other loans that we've been dealing with as of late. What do you guys make of the whole Eddie Howe breaking his silence on his relationship with Alexander Isak? That's something that he came out today with, and it's good to have that conversation. He's the one that put it out there, Eddie Howe, and he, again, as I said earlier, he could have just been done with the answer, but he said, just to add to it, our relationship, took a hit basically after he went on strike, and why hadn't the club? My thing about it now is because he's gone. I don't care about him. It is what it is. But why? My issue is why didn't the club at the time show any character, any personality to just say, "Bang, you're going to be fine. You're not going to get paid, and you can leave if you want to, but we're going to stay on business." They didn't do that, and you can say it's because of the lack of leadership as well. And you notice now with Mr. Hopkins is his name, something like that, coming in as CEO and right into business. There was an issue with tickets. Next day, tickets canceled for all the twats that were selling tickets, and all of them season ticket holders. All of them season ticket holders were selling their tickets. Can you believe that? And now I'm going to start cooking some twats that have season tickets. So there's twats that came on this show, on this channel in particular, that were talking about how the club needs to explain how come the club, how come this, how come that, blaming it on everybody else, blaming it on the Dundee kids that have not a clue. Some of them don't even want to go. They just sign up, or their parents sign them up. You know how it goes in school. Sometimes, you got to go with school. You got to participate in all of the activities. You can't be one of them kids that are at home with the PlayStation. You got to go out there. Some of these damn kids don't even know, couldn't care less, I'm assuming. And, Harper, blame it on the kids. And it was the season ticket. The club is giving away. The club needs to explain why they're giving away tickets, blah, 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 blah. Would you look at that? It was the season ticket holders that were selling their tickets like proper wangas. Now they have to, now they got their tickets, they're gone. Gone with the wind. Gone with the wind, man. You're a season ticket and you're selling. Imagine this, man. You're a Newcastle United fan and you're selling the tickets to the Barcelona game. People want to see that game, obviously. And instead of enjoying it, you're selling it. Come on, man. It's just, it's unbelievable. But it tells you, wait until you hear the facts. Because the club was getting heat left and right. And the club said, wait, what? Why are we getting hit? Because who got 45 tickets to come where? We didn't give nobody tickets. And I was dumb enough to fall into the, because somebody had mentioned that it could be because of the academy reasons or promoting the club. 45 tickets. That after the fact, I'm like, man, I kind of, because I wanted to be a happy club. Sometimes I want to be a happy clubber to just, not argue with stupid people. But so I'm just going to give in and say, man, maybe it was. If that's the case, then it could be. It could be that they wanted to promote the club. I don't know. But then I'm thinking, 45 tickets, that's nothing. And I did say it on the show. I said, that's nothing, man. 45 tickets. It's really, what are you going to do with 45 out of how many tickets available? You're going to give 45 tickets, and that was going to make a difference with the academy or with the club in itself as fans. That made no sense. Made no sense whatsoever. And, well, it was season ticket holders. So, you know, Irish Assassin, there you go. Season ticket holders, let's see, being naughty, trying to make a profit. Come on, that's messed up. Why would no one want to see Barca play at St. James's Park and maybe miss another historic win for the Toon? Exactly, man. Season ticket holders being wangas, selling their tickets. They were the one at fault. And fair enough, the club, as I expected, didn't come out with a statement or anything like that. And they could have, in this particular moment, they could have done a statement. They could have said, hey, listen, we didn't sell no tickets. It was these twats that sold the tickets. They didn't say anything like that. You know, it was just reported that they canceled somebody else, third-party tickets, season ticket holders that were selling their tickets. So, you know, they took the more polite way of doing things, but the right way, which is revoke these people's tickets. So let me see real quick. There we go. All right. Got some question here. That was a question. Let me see here. Two questions. General Y says, how is it possible for 45 season ticket holders that are all sitting next to one another sold their tickets? Number one, it has to be true. Because if it isn't true, the truth, they would come out and say, those season ticket holders would say, wait a minute. Well, it's not us. You would hear that. So it has to be true. The club can't say, unless they're just making it up, which could be. And if you're going to believe a conspiracy theory, then you're going to believe one after another. And once you start going into the conspiracy theories, it never ends. Because there's always a better conspiracy on top of a conspiracy and then another conspiracy on top of another one. So season ticket, I don't think that it was sold next to each other, though. I mean, where does it specify that they were on next to each other? I don't think so. And I don't think they would be next to each other anyway. To sit 45 people next to each other in St. James's Park, in English football, is impossible. Because the mafia of the season ticket holders are very much alive, and they run stadiums at this moment in time. And maybe if you were to Americanize it a little bit, everybody will get a fair share to see the Toon. See? That's what I'm saying. And wait, and guess what? The season ticket holders got their tickets revoked because they're the ones selling tickets. You know, there's people that don't care, man. You know, this nonsense that people sign up because they love the Toon. Yeah, they might love the Toon, but you're selling tickets. That's wrong. Phil F says that, Chris, do you really think 45 different season ticket holders sold their tickets to the same school in Dundee? So the club is lying then. So then we have a bigger issue, my friend. Then we have a bigger issue, don't we? The club is lying. The club are a bunch of hypocrite, lying, disgusting, filthy, again, liars. Because to say that, if not, then I want the season ticket holders to come out and say they're lying. People should know. It shouldn't be hard to find out who they are, by the way. It shouldn't. Well, now they're not going to get seats, obviously, I'm assuming. So you won't be able to see, oh, there's a student over there. So we know where they're sitting at. We know where the season ticket holders might be. So I don't know if you can find out. Maybe they'll leak it. Because they have the information. The Dundee students and the school more than anything. They know the information because obviously they knew where they were going to be seated at, and etc. So they should be able to know where they were at. But I don't know if they'll come out with the truth and to expose them. But why would the club make that up, knowing that it could be easily rejected, and it could be, people could find out the truth, unless you want to say that the ticket did give them the club did give them tickets, and now they're just lying, saying the season ticket holders and they took the tickets back, blah blah blah. I don't know. I think that's a lot to do for a club for 45 tickets. And as I said before, it's just 45 tickets. I didn't have an issue with it. But now it comes that it wasn't the club, it was the season ticket holders that will be in the twats selling them. So NUFC, the supporters trust did put out a statement saying that, let me see here. Let me see if we can put it on screen so people can take a look and read it. Oh, no. No, you can't really read it. So, yeah, we won't show it because it's pointless. I told everyone, if people can't read it, don't show it. It's pointless. Newcastle United supporter trust are happy to hear that the club today that a number of tickets in breach of season ticket terms and conditions for the game versus Barcelona have been canceled and made available to supporters via the club's ticketing site. Ooh, look at that. You're talking about those season tickets are available. Man. With other Premier League clubs known to have involvement with third-party sites and with such high demand for tickets at St. James's Park, we welcome Newcastle United taking visible action to deter and penalize those who may be profiting from other fans, or in this baffling case, a number of school pupils from Dundee, along with the rise of ticket prices, according to our annual survey. One of the highest concerns for Newcastle fans is reduced ticket availability due to not only to high demand, but selling of tickets through third-party sites and other authorized means. The situation this week has highlighted those frustrations once again. Ticketing can be a divisive subject, but we feel United is the stance that tickets belong in the hands of genuine Newcastle United supporters, and thank the club for their approach to those who misuse the system. We will continue to request transparency across ticketing procedures. I'll tell you one thing though. So I'm gonna be a devil advocate, and quite honestly, at this moment, I don't even want to mention the devil because it's a tough time. But it really doesn't affect the ballot. It really doesn't affect anything because those are season ticket holders, so they could have just gone themselves. It's not like those tickets were available to somebody else. It's not like those tickets could have been available for somebody else to join, for somebody in the ballot, somebody members or anything like that, because those tickets are accounted for anyway. So I'm just being, playing devil's advocate. Obviously, they did wrong. The rule is you can't sell your season ticket for any. You can give them away 9 times out of the year, which in a sense, I mean, they do it anyway. Season ticket holders do it anyway. Now most don't do it through the third party websites, but let me tell you, wake up. Season ticket holders do it all the time. All the time. They do it all the time. They sell their tickets all the time. That's not a lie. It's the truth. They just don't go through other party, big websites. But they say, listen, your mate wants to come to the game. All right, I'll let you use my ticket. I'll transfer it to you with the website. I can transfer it 9 times out of the season. You get to have the ticket. And on the side, you give me a little cash, depending on the game. You give me £100, or depending on the game, it could be £200, £300. You see what I'm saying? And season ticket holders, if you're lying on that, you are lying through your teeth, if you have any. And that's not a shot at anybody, but it's the truth. You know what I mean? It happens all the time. It happens all the time. So, look at that. There's one, talking about the devil, and he comes on. It was Win that was fuming. The American Mag saying 45 tickets is nothing. Exactly. It wasn't. It really doesn't make a difference. It makes no difference, 45 tickets. But the fact that everybody in the world was blamed over this, except when season ticket holders were mentioned, they were, oh, no, season tickets saved the club. They kept it. No, they didn't, man. Get out of here. You're paying on a discounted ticket price for 10 years, talking about saving the club. Get a life, man. Discounted, cheap as hell season tickets, talking about saving the club. You didn't save the club, man. You didn't save the club. A bunch of those twats sold their season tickets anyway. You sold them. Get rid of them. Some of you were lucky that you didn't sell it, but you were thinking it. Your super ultra discounted season ticket didn't make a difference, man. Get out of here. Just got lucky that this was, you continue to keep your ticket, and now things are looking well. So, obviously you're lucky you didn't get rid of yours. But, and now the prices go up like that's one thing I don't agree with this new NUFC Supporters Trust. They complain about the price rises of season ticket holders. It's going to be so, with the cost of living going high. Are you kidding me, man? Have you guys looked at the prices? They are rubbish, man. They're rubbish. They're rubbish. They're nowhere near what other clubs pay or other fans pay for their season tickets. Come on, man. And listen, wake up. It's going to go up. There's no way about it. There's no way of avoiding it. If you want to, and one thing that irritates me the most is when somebody says, in the cost of living, people are struggling to feed your kid, to feed our kids, to do this, to do that. Are you kidding me? Is that a conversation to have? You can't feed your kids and you're debating whether you need to keep your season ticket or not. Go get a job, man. Go get a better paying job. And if you can't, maybe you need to make the right choice and get rid of that damn ticket and feed your kid. So, highway man. It's, come on now. Season tickets are a joke. A season ticket. Are you kidding me? For some people, it's like paying a Netflix account for a whole year, man. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but it's pretty cheap. They went up just a few quid, if that. So anyway, I got a question here from Mr. You Know Why. I would question if it's possible that season ticket holders have purchased a number of season tickets and are selling the extra tickets. There was talk on here, one season ticket holder who had 8 season tickets. Well, you can. If you had the opportunity, you can buy as many season tickets as you want. You can pay enterprise tickets as a company. I know, because I sat in one when I went to Newcastle. Yeah, as a company, you can buy many season tickets. Yeah, as many as you want. If you got the money, if you got all the money in the world, you can buy whatever you want. You can buy whatever you want, if they're available, obviously. And yes, you can give them away. You can sell them. Corporate tickets, obviously, you're different because all of them have a card, that they're giving out. It's not like the regular season tickets where you got the scan and all that stuff. But I believe the corporate season tickets, it's just a card. They can just give it to whoever. They use that card and come in anytime, no big deal. And those are the platinum tickets, I believe. So I know a little bit about this. I know I'm American, but I know a little bit about this. I've been there. I've been there, done that. And listen, I don't necessarily believe it's a bad thing. And Newcastle United know. The club knows. If there is a company that buys 20 season tickets, platinum tickets, what do you think? That we got the 20 family members are coming in? No. It's a company, it's a company buy. And more than likely, if you got guests or whatever from your company or any bonuses or anything that you want to, any bonuses to your employees or anything, there's strangers. Now, I mean, granted, you paid exclusive pricing for it. It's not like they're cheap. So, and that's what's going to be the issue when it comes to the new stadium. It's going to be interesting if we get a new stadium. I think we will. How many of those will be corporate tickets? Because trust me, Newcastle get more money out of that one than poor almighty Wynn spending his last, pounds to pay his season ticket. Actually, it's pretty cheap, so he can't be complaining about it. But those platinum tickets, it cost a lot of money, man. A lot of money. Tony, wait a second. You're American. You better believe that. I wouldn't change it for the world, man. Would not change it for the world. No matter what people tell you, the greatest country in the world. We got the greatest country in the world, man. Greatest place to live at. No matter what people tell you. And I'm seeing a lot of people show their true colors now on X. A lot of people getting unfollowed. A lot of people getting blocked. A lot of people. I'm not whinging. I just told you I did it. I paid like £600 for 2 tickets for platinum. I'm not whinging about it. I'm telling you, it's happening. You know, I'm telling you, wake up, Britain. This is the Great Britain that we're living in. You know, it is what it is. Corporate sales are everything for clubs nowadays. They get their money's worth out of that one. And a little more. So there's no complaining about it. It's just what it is. And people complain about it. You know, people say, no, I can't believe, you know, you can't sell your ticket. You can't sell it. That's why I said earlier, you know, obviously I'm giving crap to the season ticket holders for selling their tickets. But in all honesty, it happens everywhere. That's what I'm trying to point out. And, you know, people have an issue with the third party selling, but the action still being done, whether they use the third party tickets or they sell them to their neighbor, it's still the same thing. They sell them. Season ticket holders sell their tickets from time to time throughout the season. They do it. And quite honestly, for different reasons. Some do want an extra, an extra wad of cash. So, you know, they need the cash. They'll sell my ticket for a week or two. Some do it for the hospitality. So you could say that, you know, that's a good thing. You know, when you go there, a lot of international fans at the time, there's a reason why now things have changed for international fans as far as ticketing is concerned. Now, international fans can actually get on a ballot. You got to be a member. You get on the ballot and you can actually get a ticket secured. So you can, with time in advance, so you can plan your ticket. You can buy, now you got a ticket secured. Now you can buy your plane ticket. You can buy your hotel. You know, all of that stuff and plan accordingly. Now you can do that. But at the time, you can change. That's changed now, literally this season. But at the time, as of last season and before, there was no. You can get on that stupid ballot, but I mean, what's the point? You find out the week of or the week before if you get a ticket or not. How are you supposed to plan a trip with a week in advance? And how could you go to Newcastle not knowing that you're going to get into the game? So that was the issue that they fixed now. But before, and they're still doing it, by the way, still doing it. International fans from all over the world, and not just international fans, but also local fans. English fans, not just sometimes local fans as well. So they're all involved in the same thing. Don't believe in this notion that local fans are saint, that they would never do anything of this of such whatever. They do it all the time. Everybody's trying to get in the stadium because there's no space, even for local fans. They do it now. They get the extra, you know, they find a season ticket holder. And usually against the twat teams, because, you know, the Barcelona, usually you're not going to get in there because most want to go to it. But you find the 45 season ticket holders that didn't care. They wanted that cash, boy. Imagine how much they sell them for. 500, 600 pounds. Man, that's a good amount of it. You pay your whole half of your season ticket with that money, in 1 week. But they're still doing it now. You know, they usually get the Wolves, the Bournemouth, the Burnley, those teams. You know, you usually get those very quickly. Very easy. So it happens all the time. And it will never stop unless the club says you can never transfer your season ticket. And then obviously that's going to go away. But that's not going to happen either, is it? I mean, because you do got family members. And you still got to be a family member now to be transferred. You can only be on a certain amount of families. But I mean, you know, that's easily hacked as well. You just got to be released from one family and now sign up to another family. And, you know, there's always ways to do it. But I want this nonsense that all the fans that are not local are the evil that come over to take Newcastle, and local fans are the same. Everybody does it. So everybody does it. Plain and simple. And they're not gonna stop. Unfortunately, they're not gonna stop. Just gotta get used to it. How about calls? Chris, can you address the rumors someone down the pub said you pay $600, but in fact it was only $75? No. It wasn't no $75. I paid a lot of money for these damn tickets. And Mighty Win scammed me on top of that because he added an extra $200, for his cut. So, you know, it is what it is, man. Yeah, but that's the way it goes. That's how the mafia runs things, man. It's shark loan shark, racketeering, and the Mighty Win is ahead of that. So don't make people believe that all local fans are these people. They scam people, man. And look at Mighty Win getting enraged, man. You know, Win, I paid you pretty good for that. But naturally, he didn't make money off of it. But it was still a lot of money, and everybody does it. Everybody does it. Yes, everybody doesn't do it as mighty win. Of course, he's going to protect the thought. He doesn't want to admit to it, but people do it all the time. People do it all the time. Very rarely you will hear somebody just giving up their ticket with nothing in return. And ota nonsense. Ota nonsense, man. They do. I thought it was free for a second, and then boy, they were like, wait a minute, those aren't free? You got to pay them. I thought it was the Geordie hospitality. I said, all right, fair enough. I'll pay you, man. But you can't say they're free. No, boy. And so, yeah, it is what it is. I didn't see much of a difference, though, between the platinum and the regular tickets. As far as stadium sitting is concerned, they're not really that different. I mean, you get to have a little restaurant in there that you can, I don't know what, eat and drink. But I don't think that's enough to make me pay triple the money for a ticket. But because I wasn't even bothered to go drink or eat in those places. They were packed anyway. So I'm not. The thing is, the moral of the story is everybody is naughty, and this time the naughty ones were the season ticket holders. So it is what it is. Everybody does it. Everybody's in the game. Everybody's in the game to take advantage. Every now and then you take a little advantage. It is what it is. And listen, there's no denying. You can't deny it, man. There's no denying it. Sometimes it's what it is. Sometimes you need to, hey, cost of living is high, baby. You need to make a quick buck. Sell that Wolves ticket. You better sell that Wolves ticket for 150 quid. Boy, you make that. That's the grocery for some days, man. For some folks. Ooh, boy, some people are triggered in the chat.
Prove that we're wangers.
Boy, 200 tickets, knew it. There you go. So smash the like buttons, folks. That way, we should be done pretty soon, though. But very much so interested about Eddie Howe revealing that his relationship with Isak changed after his player went on strike. As I said earlier, the club didn't show backbone, didn't show. They were nagged. And that it's a shame, quite honestly, what's going on with Newcastle United. In that sense, that we just didn't respect ourselves. We didn't say, all right, you're gonna do what you want, then you're gonna suffer for that. So we didn't do it, but it is what it is. It is what it is. He's gone now, no doubt about it. And hopefully, no more questions about him as well, though, in the press conference. I got this presser because it was going to come. It was going to happen. But, it's just, it is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, this presser in itself, I hope I don't keep hearing about Isak next presser, though. Wayne says, effing lie, you pay 75 quid. Get out of here, man. I got the receipts. I sent you like 700 pounds. Get out of here. Stop lying, man. I got the receipts. Wayne, I got the receipts, man. Check PayPal how much I paid you for 4 tickets, essentially, because there were 4 games. So there you go. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. So for what platinum clubs cost for where you're set, and for the season ticket holders beside me to sit in the next platinum, so you could sit next to me. Yeah, I paid a lot of money. 75 quid, that's not what I paid. Trust me. And nobody's going to believe you anyway. 75 quid. Who's going to find a ticket for 75 quid? Up in the nosebleed when you in the altitude somewhere, maybe. That's fine. The rumors can go around, but the rumors come from a liar, so it is what it is. I got the receipts. Trust me. You don't want me to pull up the receipts because I know what I paid. I know what I paid. So there you go. As we mentioned, Voltar Madi is more than likely going to start tomorrow, so that's a positive. We're going to get to see what Voltar Madi can do, but obviously with no Isak, so that's the issue. But hopefully nothing happens with Voltar Madi, and we get to see a good performance from the German international. No Jacob Ramsey, no who else was hurt? Oh, no, Wissa, obviously. I just mentioned that. So Wissa's going for a scan, though. Nothing serious as far as the knee is concerned from Craig Hope, saying Craig Hope came out with that. Nothing serious. He can't confirm that, though, but nothing serious from what he's hearing. So we shall see what happens, but he definitely missed. He might be available, I heard, for the Barcelona game. Might be available for that one. Now you get into the conundrum. If Voltar Madi scores once or twice tomorrow, who plays against Barcelona? That's going to be a different subject for another day. As far as right now is concerned, thank you very much, all of you, for joining us. Thank you for the gift of membership to Mr. Random Access. Hope to see you all tomorrow for the match, an hour before kickoff, to discuss the latest stories, and then, of course, the build-up and the match in itself. So join us tomorrow, Saturday, Newcastle United Wolves at St. James's Park. We shall see you all tomorrow. Appreciate all of you very much indeed. Thank you. How away the lads. See you tomorrow, folks. Take care. Bye-bye.